Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to autumn. Today I've got a really fun DIY project that I've been wanting to do since last fall. The cool weather, the crisp air coming in the windows, and the falling leaves always motivate me to get into some fall decorating and cleaning and purging. Today we will be making a simple, all-natural mini pinecone swag for over the kitchen sink. The materials for this project are very simple: a spool of twine, 2 bags of mini pine cones, you can find these at Hobby Lobby, and 1 roll of velvet ribbon in the color of your choice. I have a deep mossy green color. You will also need a hot glue gun and a pair of scissors. Let's get started. Begin by tying a loop in the end of your twine. This is what you will hang your garland from once you're finished. Then select a pine cone, add a dab of glue, and hold to the twine until it's secure. Pick a second pine cone and put them base to base, pointing outward. A third pine cone will make a trio. This trio will form your base and create a pattern that you will use down the length of your garland. You'll have 3 pine cones put together like this. Once the glue has hardened into place, you will get another set of 3 and rotate as you descend down the twine, like this. I recommend picking off those fine, shiny glue strings as you go. It is easier to remove them while they're still warm. This project is simple, but I will tell you it is rather tedious, so it is perfect for listening to a podcast. Here is my finished swag. I did go back in here and there and fill in a gap where I could see some of the glue showing. And then here in the center, I left part of the twine uncovered so that the swag could come up against itself. You see here, instead of bunching at the top. This makes it so much easier for hanging. It also helps to create that swag shape. I don't know about you, but I love creating projects for the seasons that are natural materials. They seem so much more timeless and classic. Now that I've completed my swag, I can tie a loop in the other end. And you may have been wondering all this time exactly what these vintage brass jelly molds are for. I got this pair off Etsy, and I was thinking it might be really fun to incorporate this into the swag. I might do one on either end, and I really love how it looks with the ribbon. Okay, I know if you've been around here, you've seen this trick, but if you're new, I just couldn't resist sharing what Barkeeper's Friend will do to vintage copper in a matter of minutes. Simply wet the copper with warm water, wet your brush, sprinkle on the Barkeeper's Friend to make a paste, and then get into the little grooves, scrub, not very much at all. And there you have it, an absolutely gorgeous rose gold vintage jelly mold. Now we're ready to start decorating the kitchen. These gorgeous antique blue transferware platters and plates stay up spring and summer, and I swap them out for fall and Christmas. Our autumn dishes are brown transferware, and they are a mixed set of these brown coaching scenes that I found at a thrift store and a half a dozen dinner plates in the Spode woodland pattern. Don't you just love the elegance of the simple pinecone swag and the intricate transferware designs? So perfect together. Here I'm hanging up the jelly mold, and this is before it was polished, just to get an idea of what it would look like and if it would work. I ended up choosing just putting one in the center, and this is pretty typical of me. I generally go for whatever is simpler I also just set the bows in place. That way I could use them on other decorations for another season if I choose. The other thing I do every year when I swap out the plates is I swap out the ones we actually eat on, so the extras go here, and that way our dining table matches the kitchen decorations. We're making good progress. Let's move on to decorating the island. Here I removed the Granny Smith apples that will be for an apple pie. I've decided this is going to be one of my new traditions every fall, is to make a homemade Dutch cream apple pie. A Dutch cream apple pie requires a few extra steps, and it is not low calorie, so once a year is a wonderful time to make this delicious pie. I'm fussing over my velvet pumpkins and candles, and finally decided at the end that I needed extra height in that copper coffee pot. Sometimes seasonal decorating takes a little extra tweaking to get it just right. Here, friends, is my autumn kitchen. We've got a batch of sauerkraut going on top of the fridge. We've got our transferware, pine cones, and velvet ribbon. It's very light, it's very subtle, but it's enough to make the kitchen sing and make me so excited about this new season. We've already had a fall picnic. I'm looking forward to soups, stews, more baking, lighting the fire for the first time, cleaning out the fireplace, all those wonderful sights and smells that tell us it's time to draw inward, to draw closer and make more time for our families. If you're interested in making a pinecone garland like this, you will find links to the supplies down below. Another thing that has made this season already more peaceful and restful is having less. I had one large bin of autumn decor, but this time around I was pretty merciless and I shrunk it down to a quarter of what it was before. Having less decorations to put out gave me the time to do the DIY project I wanted to do most. Now for a few autumn touches in the living room. You're going to recognize a pattern for sure. The painting I removed is the one that stays up for spring and fall. I just swap it out with this thrifted painting with the fall colors. The feature of this arrangement is the painting, so I add this simple garland that I thrifted a couple of years ago. It is faux, but it looks realistic. Then, for symmetry, I add an antique mantel clock, a gift from my dad several years ago. Using pieces like these not only gives a sense of familiarity to your decor, but it is the memory and the sentiment attached to the object that gives your home that storied, lived in, and loved feeling. Again, I go for simplicity. Once I coaxed this rather obstinate garland into position, I added a couple of candlesticks. These are a combination of wood and brass, and I think they look distinctly English. They also help to give some height to the arrangement. Last of all, I add a couple of green velvet pumpkins. You know, the funny thing is about decorating, filming yourself, taking pictures, is that you learn things about yourself you never knew before. And one of the things I learned probably a couple of years ago is I do like symmetry more than I thought I did originally. As I was tweaking the mantle, I thought I might add a little bit more height and interest with these milk glass goblets. It would pull the white out of the snow in the mountain and give a little bit of shine. In the end, I decided against them. I thought that they took away from the painting. I did include my different looks that I've done throughout this video because I thought they might inspire more ideas for you. Now our last area for the house, let's cozy up this new English rolled arm sofa. I found this beautiful extra soft plaid blanket at the thrift store. I do wish that it was a woven wool. It's a printed acrylic, but it's extremely soft and perfect for cuddling up with a book by the fire. As you can see, I've included a couple variations for the couch as well. The second look appealed to me the most because it seemed a little more casual and inviting. I hope you all have enjoyed our DIY project and decorating with me today. There is so much to look forward to in this autumn season. Make sure to include time for picnics, long walks, and s'mores over the fire. Happy autumn, everyone. And until next time, take care.